A former Mount Holyoke College professor has been sentenced to 10 to 12 years in prison for a brutal attack on her colleague 2 years ago. 50-year-old Ri Hachiyanagi last Friday pleaded guilty to 9 charges stemming from that 4-hour late-night attack at the victim's home in December of 2019. Prosecutors said that she bludgeoned the victim with a rock, a fire poker, and pruning shears, leaving her with permanent injuries. Now, the judge said that he was tempted to sentence the defendant to a longer prison term, but instead accepted the recommendations of the DA's office.
That's crazy. This story got crazy. I didn't hear anything about it. Some type of way I stumbled across it, and when you read it, it's like something out of a horror movie. And I'm sure for the victim, it was a horror movie. So from what I understand in reading the article is Hajinaki, I hope I'm saying her name right, went to her colleague's house. They have been friends for 14 years. Good friends, nothing romantic was involved. But when Hajanaki went to the victim's house, upon entering, she hit her in the back of the head with something. The lady fell on the ground and she started to beat her down with the rock or something. When they say bludgeon, I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know how to pronounce that word, but when I looked it up, it was like to repeatedly beat or hit somebody with an object. So she beat this lady. And during the whole beating, she was asking her, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" And Hajanaki responded, "I have feelings for you. I thought you would have known." Now that's a clue that something ain't right up here. Something is off up here. For you to create a scenario in your head and expect for me to know. Now at first I'm thinking like they may have played the little game. They may have, tangled up a little bit. But the lady said that, they never had an affair. And the victim was in an affair with the man for over 10 years. Which don't mean nothing. And I don't want to say affair, a relationship with the man for the last 10 years. And that don't mean nothing, but it seemed like they were both respectable women. But I thought that the lady died, the victim, but she didn't. Some type of way during the beating, she started to convince Hajanaki that she felt the same way about her. So she had to kind of play mind games to get Hajanaki from killing her. But of course, Hajanaki didn't believe that at first. She just, kept doing. This is a 4-hour torture. She tortured this lady for 4 hours. But eventually, she convinced Hajanaki to call for help and tell them that someone unknown do it, and she found her in a pool of blood. And she did it. And once the cops got there, the report says that the victim still didn't tell them that Hajanaki was the one who did it. It happened later when they got to like a safe location. This lady was thinking she was fighting for her life mentally. Probably couldn't do too much physically, but mentally she was there. And I don't see how you could do that in trauma. I guess if it's life or death, you're going to do what you got to do. But she finally told the police later that Hajanaki was the one who attacked her, and she was afraid that she would come back and burn her house down if she told them right off. So, that kind of gives you a little bit of, I'm looking at you sideways vibes, but she did what she had to do, and now this lady being sentenced to 10 to 12 years, which to me, I think she needs more time. Because if this is your friend, somebody who you've been friends with for 10 years, and you go to their house and tell them that you just broke up with somebody, and then you attack them and try to kill them and torture them for 4 hours, and you're my friend? If that's a friend, I don't need an enemy. I do not need an enemy if that's a friend. I'm lucky the lady alive. I'm sure she's gonna have some trauma and scars mentally and physically and emotionally from this incident. But man, I don't know. I want to hear more of Hajinaki's her time in prison, but I don't. She had already threatened to kill herself if she went to prison, from what the report said. So I don't know, man. I just find this to be crazy. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comment section. Peace.